What was in the heart of this man was what played out on the cross. So for that reason, even though it remained 1 minute for that man to pass on, there was a means whereby he would be saved. Because right from time, his heart has been pure. It's just that he found himself in a situation whereby he couldn't help himself but to dance to the tune of, what was controlling his life, but his heart was pure. How do you make the case of David that killed a man, Uriah, as if that was not enough, collected his wife, and yet God called him a man after his heart? We are talking of heart matters. This guy, he may have done what is wrong, he may have acted wrongly, but because his heart was right with God, and that is why we said God has worked eternity in our heart. So this thing that was worked in our heart, there is what our heart longs after. And that is like a prayer request to God that God will never forbid, because whoever calls upon the name of the Lord, the Bible says, shall be saved. So even if you are not doing it with your mouth, the moment you lose interest with anything sin, and I'm using that opportunity to tell somebody that is, maybe you are masturbating, or maybe you are into pornography, and organically it is not what you like, you just find yourself doing it. Let me give you the promise from the Lord, and nothing but the good news. The thing is that because your heart is right with God, don't condemn yourself. The moment you begin to get yourself into such act which your heart is unpleasing, I will tell you that you are halfway to your deliverance. The moment your heart detects or dejects that unpleasant thing you are doing, the moment you don't stay in it or embrace it, or you associate yourself with it as a lifestyle, but your heart dejected it, I'm telling you, you are halfway to your deliverance.
So, Bishop, okay, what you're trying to say is masturbation cannot take somebody to hell. Is that what you're trying to say?
It depends on the intent. So again, they must understand the intent.
The intent.
Yes. Because sometimes we are in a mortal prison, which is the flesh.
Okay.
And because we are in a mortal prison, God understands that for a man that will run, he must first begin as a baby that will crawl.
Okay.
For you to have the heart that is detestable to evil, it simply means you are making progress. It simply means you are journeying. And I can guarantee you, because the works of salvation is not according to what man can do. It is according to what God can do. So if you will stay with the posture of your heart, I tell you, God will work out a salvation for you. Wow. So it is not what you will, if you try to, be legalistic about it, do prayer and fasting about it, do all of those things. Those things are good, but they will not guarantee your salvation from it. They will not guarantee your deliverance from it. Just maintain your heart posture and continue to
mean by heart posture?
That is your rejection, or your hating that thing.
That's more like acrimony.
I'm telling you. So just maintain that posture. The more you continue to maintain that posture, the more you are ascending. You will get to a certain point. The Bible says, who shall ascend into the hills of the Lord? But he that has a pure heart and a cleansed hand. It is first a pure heart before a cleansed heart. So your ascension is like the breakage of infirmity. The more you continue to ascend one mountain or the other, the more the cracks of infirmity begins to break, until you enter into the point whereby you have come to the hill of the Lord. At that point, God can send an angel to clean your tongue and say, this iniquity is taken away from you. From Isaiah.
So what you're saying is masturbation won't stop in this addiction called masturbation. It's not by works.
It's not by works.
It's not by maybe some motivation,
not by any moralistic
some exercise,
motivation, juggernaut. It is maintaining your heart posture with God.
Your heart posture.
Yes. Which is
Persistency in hating that very thing.
Hating it.
That's it, rejecting it.
That's it. The moment you continue on that frequency,
you will come out of it.
You will come out of it. You will walk out of it.
Wow, 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 wow.
You will walk out.
Wow. Okay, so what you are saying now is, which means from what you have said so far, in fact, this being saved and saved forever,
yeah,
I think is something that I would say is yet to be cleared to me. I'm still finding some, I don't know, because now I am born again. Of course, I've received Christ into my heart. And for instance, I mistakenly kill somebody. Maybe I murder somebody or shoot somebody.
Mistakenly.
Mistakenly. What we call mistake, even though sometimes you really desire to do something bad to somebody. You know, because you are, Bishop, because we are in this flesh. We are in this flesh. And as long as we are in this flesh, it will take the grace of God.
Of course.
But let me agree with you. Then once you are saved forever. I can agree. But when you say once you are saved, even if you decide to live in this body, I mean, even if you decide to stay, to continue feasting, allowing this body to, of course, like immorality, for instance, stealing, backbiting, fornication, and all kinds of, sins. So if I fall into any of these things, and I will still make heaven, then what is the essence of this salvation, if not that you just receive it and go back to your former life?
Thank you. But what I see here is a misconception.
Okay.
Definition of terms. So let me start from there. The Bible speaking in the book of I think Amos also.
Okay.
It said, "My enemies rejoice not over me. If I fall, I will rise again." Now, to a man that is saved, and also the psalmist says, "The righteous man will fall 7 times and will still rise again." This is God speaking. So, what we need to understand about the concept of salvation is this: salvation is not man-made. Salvation is an inheritance.
Okay.
And because salvation is an inheritance, somebody willed that property.
Okay.
And that person is God. And that property that was willed is the person of Christ through the Spirit in us. So, like I used the analogy of Apostle James explaining